Hey, what's happening, Roland? Well, I'm going to tell you what's happening right now. There's a big storm. It's Friday afternoon. The rains have come. There was lightning hitting out there. It was raining like crazy just a few minutes ago, so I didn't fish today. It was like the only day this week I didn't fish. I really had a good week. It's the middle of August. It's the dog days of August. It's the time when let's see if you would just kind of come over this way. It's the time of year when the bass don't seem to want to bite, but they're biting. Let me just tell you what I've done. I've done a couple of really exciting videos this week. First of all, here's what I did. I did the finesse deal. Now, last week I went down to the Everglades with Don Cajohno, and we caught some beautiful bass on the little what we call, it's not the wacky rig. This is the little finesse rig. This is a little 4-inch senko, 297 4-inch senko with a little 1/10 of an ounce little weight. Look at that little bitty weight, the itsy bitsy weight right there. It's 1/10 of an ounce. This is 10-pound test line. And Don and I caught a bunch of fish way down the Everglades, and then I went Monday or Tuesday to Central Florida, caught in a little canal, took the same spinning rod, 10-pound test line, little favorite rod, little favorite reel, and just absolutely destroyed them. Caught like 30 or 40 bass, not too many big ones, a couple maybe around 4 pounds, but a lot of fish. Almost every single cast I'd have a bite, either a tilapia or a Mayan cichlid or a bass or a gar or a mudfish or something would hit this little worm just about every time I throw it out there. Okay, that's the first thing. Also, I had another rod. It was braid, a little bit heavier, but actually this light 10-pound test line seemed to do the best, and the lighter little 1/10 of an ounce jig head did really, really well. But anyway, finesse fishing, hot summertime, it was just a really, really super way of catching a lot of fish. I mean, I'm talking 30 or 40 fish in just a few hours. Okay, that's the first thing. That's the first really great thing. Then, Tuesday, it was really, really a barn burner. I got with Jerry Brousseau. Jerry and I have done a lot of films with flipping and all that sorts of stuff, and I said, Jerry, let's go find a bunch of hydrilla and let's go up to Central Florida. Let's go flip a bunch of canals. Let's go flip a bunch of hydrilla. Let's see what happens. Well, before we started to flip, we started to frog. And we were doing some frog fishing with just the standard frog. We were taking big popper frogs like this, and also just the regular Spro frog, the Pro 65, the Spro 65 bronze eye frog. And bam, Jerry caught a 7.37, I think it was. That was really cool. That was one frog show. The other frog show was even more interesting. Okay, here's the deal. I've probably been talking about the buzz frog, over the years. The last couple of years I've talked about a buzz frog. Well, here's a frog that I work for Spro Tackle now. I got back on board with Spro Tackle. And so one of my jobs is so cool. One of my jobs is to doing prototype things. I mean, I'm testing lures all the time. And so I took this is their regular bronze eye shad, and it's got a vertical skirt that goes up and down. I took the bronze eye shad, and I took the skirt off. Okay, took the skirt off right here, boom. And I took a big swivel, a big Spro swivel, big saltwater swivel, and I took a bunch of heavy braid and went through those 2 holes. I took a bunch of super glue, and I super glued the whole thing in there. It's real solid. It's all full of super glue and braided line, and it's all sealed up, and it's all just solid as can be. And that's a big welded ring on there. It's a big saltwater swivel. And then I took this tail. This tail, well, this is one tail, but actually the best tail was this one here. This is a tail I made. Yeah, here's a tail I made. That's a tail. It's another buzz frog. Same deal. And I poured that tail myself. I just made a little mold out of this company that I work with, Spike It Corporation, has this thing called Lure Works, and they sell all this plastic. So I took all this plastic, the plastisol, and I poured my own tails. And I had another tail here. Let's see which one it was. Maybe it was this one. Okay, this one. Aha! Here was the secret deal. Here was the one that really killed them. See, look at that little bulky looking thing. I made the tail a little thicker. I just made it thicker than any kind of other thing. And then I got that slightly smaller swivel, and that one happens to be tied on with a little tie wrap. See, I'm testing things out. I'm doing different kinds of deals. I took a tie wrap, just a regular tie wrap, and I went through the 2 holes, and then I took a bunch of super glue and sealed it all up so it won't leak. And now it's a nice little saltwater swivel, okay? And it all swivels around. And here's another big thing. I took pliers and I bent. Here's a really big deal, a really big part of this whole game, is to take the pliers and bend these hooks out really hard. To bend out, I mean really hard. And look, there's a gap now. If you look real hard, it's hard to see the gap, but those hooks are not touching the plastic anymore. The hooks are coming out on the side. They're about 1/16 of an inch out. So what that means is that it's not completely weedless, it's almost weedless, but it comes through the hydrilla. And what we're looking for right now is hydrilla patches. And hydrilla kind of floats on the water. So with those hooks out a little bit, I can drag that along the hydrilla, and this buzz tail really kind of works. And I'm telling you what, I made a great film. And it was a prototype lure. I don't know if we're going to come out with it for a Spro tackle or not. It's just one of the many benefits that I have working with big lure companies. We're always trying and testing things. It's so cool. And the basic rig is this is a big 50-pound test braided line. The big 7-foot, it's actually my worm rod. Favorite rod, it's a Pro Series. And a big old favorite reel. But anyway, I caught big fish. I mean 5 and 6 and 7 pound bass on the Buzz Frog, middle of August. I mean, it was so cool. I've had really a busy week. So that's kind of what's been happening in my world. I'm getting ready, though, to go to a big trip. I'm going down to Mexico with old Pedro Soares and Winston Tucker, the guys that make the favorite rod. And then after that Mexican trip, I'm going to go over to Oklahoma to see my buddy Jimmy Houston. And Jimmy and I are going to have some kind of challenge. You know, last time we were together, remember we were frog fishing? I thought I beat him, and he was fishing a spinnerbait. I don't know who won. But anyway, we're going to do about the same thing again at his lake in Oklahoma. So that's going to be coming up next week. But anyway, my week's been a real busy week. I've really enjoyed it. And I know you guys can, and girls, I appreciate you watching. I mean, my subscription rates are really up high. My sponsors are happy. I'm happy. You're happy. Hey, I'm trying to give you as much information as I can. I mean, that's kind of what I do. I mean, it's, I'm passing it on. He's just an old guy with a lot of tricks up his sleeve. No, I have short sleeve shirts on right now. No sleeve. But I do have a bunch of tricks to tell you. Stay tuned and keep watching, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.